Hi, good evening. It has been like forever since I have done a live video with actual crafting happening. I'm very grateful that you are here. Let me know that you're here when you hop on. Um, I again just want to say thank you to everybody for giving me a little bit of grace over the last, I guess, 2 months or so. Life has just been chaotic, but I am trying to continue to make things happen. So I hope that you are looking forward to some new and exciting things. Um, if you're a scrapbooker, great news. I am also a scrapbooker. I That's actually how I initially got into Stampin' Up! Stuff. So I used to do creative memories with friends, and somebody introduced me to Stampin' Up! Way back when. One of the favorite things was using watercolor pencils with the little bear that you could color in. And then they had like a bunch of different flocking type products at that point, so you could make them little furry bears. Anyway, so I am definitely still scrapbooking. So one of the things I have really enjoyed is using our kits. We have just pre-planned tutorials, all the things you need, a cut guide to create some beautiful two-page spreads. And let's see, I can actually share a couple of them that have not got put away yet because I'm still looking to put some photos on them. So before I get started with the card part, I'm gonna flip this over and I'm going to share the Thanksgiving layout that I created right here. So this is one of the kits that we had. Um, I am not 100% sure if it is still available or if it is not available, but that is one of the double page spreads. It actually comes with three. So, and it's a workshop kit. So here is the second one that I did. You can see I have a little place card holder here. It's just a little adhesive back because this is a sticker. So I wanted to be able to tuck my photos in there. So that is the second piece to that. And I put these down very, very lightly so that when I put the photos on there, I can just pull those little place card holders up. All right, remember I said there was 6 pages total. So here is the final 2 pages. And of course, my fun, fabulous photo printer that I got for Christmas. I haven't actually used it yet. So, I don't know what I'm waiting for. Time, magic, trying to make time for the things that are the most important. And at this point, I got the photos. So that was the most important part, was taking photos. Now I've got to print them and get them on the layouts. So that is one of the things that I plan to do more throughout the rest of this calendar year. So if you are interested at all in scrapbooking, just let me know. We are winding down our celebration over the course of the rest of February. So if you spend $60 or more, you get free items. We do have this little brochure. However, there are so many more items that they have added. So you would want to check that out because you never know what they're going to throw in there to get for free. Um, I'm going to go ahead and share the tutorial and the card that went out. If you are on my email list, you got this free tutorial from my January swap card. So every month I participate in a swap with my teammates. And this was my card for January, obviously in preparation for Valentine's Day. And I used our Hugs for Love stamp set. and a sketch design. Let's see if I can bring that a little closer. There you go. You can see the actual card here. Did something a little different here, a little bit of thread there, and then I used it here. So we're going to use this same design, but we're going to create 3 different cards. Well, actually, I've already created 2. We're only going to create 1 together. So let's see. I wanted to find some of the items in here. All right, so we're going to use this one live. We'll use this set to create the last card. I did use this fun little bunny set. It is the Storybook Moments set. I only used this designer series paper, and I actually only used this 12 by 12 pack. I didn't use any of the plaid, although I love it. So let me bring out what I did here. Okay. So here is that storybook paper. It's actually got 2 sheets of these pre-cut adorable critters. So I'm going to gently take this out and share this. So I did punch out a few of these items. This is how my tutorial card turned out with this set. And then I just used one of our sentiment sets to do the little sentiment here. And then I added the cute little boots and the hat. And this doesn't even require a stamp set. This was just paper, scissors. I did use an embossing folder here, but you don't have to. That's just a little something extra. Thank you, Miss Lisa. So let me quickly share what this paper looks like. Careful with those. All right. So this is one of our designer series papers. It is going to be reversible. So it's got two patterns to each paper. And yes, I love strawberries, so I had to use the strawberry paper. But you can see how fun these colors are. They're bold, they're bright, but it's on this antique type of a background. So it is a lot of fun. They did one of those fun sheets where there's always a slice that you can make, and then you can cut all the rest from there. So there's always one that you can cut all the way through. You've got 2 of every pattern. So you could make double page spreads with your papers if you are a scrapbooker. So we saw these already. So the ones that I used on our card. So here's a couple others. This one is so adorable. Look at those squirrels or chipmunks. Can have an argument either way. Look at this gorgeous color. Hi. Oh my gosh, it is a great suite. This paper, I didn't even buy the whole suite. I somehow didn't get the rest of it. I only got the paper. So, I decided to be creative and utilize what I had, which is, it's a skill, it's a talent I don't usually have. I like to just buy new stuff. So this was one of those don't buy anything, use what you have moments, but the paper just tells the story all by itself. So I really love that. So my initial card was that pink love card that you saw in the tutorial. And they are all using the same measurements and mostly the same pieces and parts. So I'm going to go through that tutorial. Again, if you're on my email list, go to equallycreativebynicole.com, sign up for my email list. I do try to send out free tutorials and class information, etc. So I used the same pieces for the cards. So we have 3 of these 3-inch by 1.5-inch. And then we had our card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11. Let's see. And I used different sets for each of our cards that I wanted to share with you just to show that one design can really take you many places. You don't have to do something exactly like it is shown. So again, pretty much same pieces. We have three inch by 1.5 inch pieces. I added an extra layer on these two cards. You have the extra layer here. This is tone on tone. This was a different color. This is no color. So you can really use simple elements from any sketch card, any tutorial that you find. Use what you love and make it your own. That is one of the things that I absolutely love about card making and scrapbooking. I can see something that someone else has done and I can make it my own. Um, so I hope that I can help others do the same. So I shared this one. Let me share quickly. So I used the new Everyday You and Me for this fun love every moment because we have the craziest weather here, and this was one of my favorite sets when it came out. I did a whole class around this set. It was a lot of fun. And so I wanted to use it again because, I'm one of those people who thinks it's probably going away um at the end of this catalog season. So I wanted to grab it out. Our weather's been crazy. We had a lot of rain last night, and I just thought um, I walked this morning post rain. It was cold. And I just thought that you should love every moment, right? Learn to love the little things in life, learn to see all the beauty in all the aspects. So when the weather swings from 82 degrees down to 40, you just go with it. You love every moment. So that's where this card kind of got designed from. So anyway, snowstorm, blizzard in Louisiana. Who on earth would have ever thought that would be possible? So for that last card, I used the Bokeh, beautiful Bokeh 6x6 designer series paper. Again, it really is beautiful. It's double-sided. So on the backs of each design, there's like a little speckled section. So I really love that. Let's see. I'll spread these out so you can see the different colors that are in here. So it's got some teals and this blue, yellow, and because it's all kind of variegated, you can really do a lot with tone on tone, or you can switch it around and have some bold sections with some more muted sections. So I really loved this. It reminded me of like Christmas lights when you look through those special little glasses. So yeah. So I just kept those. It felt watery. I was looking for that artsy effect without having to be artsy because we were doing a casing of cards. So sometimes when I case a card, it's because I need to make something in a hurry. This was not necessarily the case, but that is usually why I case a card very quickly because you already know the measurements. There's no thought to it. You just do it. So we're going to use my tutorial, and we're going to use the Ocean Friends, and we're going to create another card. So I have to decide because I have not designed this one other than I have some elements that I'm going to use. So let me share this paper. Okay, so I picked out the melon mambo and the pumpkin pie, and I've picked out the three pieces that I would like to use. So let me show you what the rest of this paper looks like because it is so much fun. It is Mardi Gras season here in Louisiana. And when I got this, I was like, okay, these could theoretically be little crawfish. So I know they're lobsters, but sometimes people don't know. All right. So again, double-sided, totally Mardi Gras right here, except there's no green, but it looks like Mardi Gras beads. So these are all the beautiful papers, and I went ahead and flipped every other one so this would go a little quicker. I mean, this is fun. This is probably my favorite paper from the current mini catalog. Look at this. I'm also a Cancer, so I love crab and I love to eat soft shell crab in any form. I especially like it when I can get it in sushi. So if you like sushi and you want to go on a sushi date, I love to go to the all you can eat place, Sushi Masa, and they have a fabulous soft shell crab sushi roll that is just to die for. So when I go there, that's what I buy. So if you want to go, let me know. Hit me up. We'll go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of cut some of the pieces and parts down for you so you can see. So here's our card base, 4¼ by 11. Move this little guy over, and I am going to score this at 5½. Remember, you're using your light color blade for the light pressing so that you do not cut that on accident. Okay, so that's my card base. I have pre-cut the inside piece. I always want to have somewhere to sign your card later. So my insides are usually 4 by 5¼ Let me just double check that I cut this at the right. I did not cut it. It did look a little bigger. Give me one. There we go. All right, now we have the right size so that my inside piece here looks much closer. All right, so that's our inside piece. You want to be able to sign your card. Sometimes you can flip that and put it on the back if you would like. Since I want to use this, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one down as well. So I'm going to do 4 1/8. Set that aside. And then I'm going to do 5 1, 2, 3/8. So just over 5¼ Can hold it still, that would work. Okay. So this is going to give me a narrow border. If I wanted to, I could have done the 4 by 5¼ which is what I did on this one as well as this one. However, remember I said we're casing, which means we get to twist and turn and do some things a little bit differently. So I'm going to add an additional layer. So that is my plan. And we'll see if I can make it happen. Okay. So we have our card base and our first layer there. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this one at 4 by 5¼ So we're just going to have a little extra zhuzh on it. Set that one aside. So I really liked this. This is where I got the idea to do this color. So just going to kind of layer this out in just a second. That'll be nice and concentric going down. So then we need our 3 pieces that are 3 inches by 1½ inches. Because the direction of this is important, I am going to make sure that I cut my 3 inches in the right direction. So let's do 3 inches here. Set that aside. And then I'm going to do 1½ inches. Did I do that wrong? I did do that wrong. See, even though I was thinking about it, I did it wrong. So we're going to trade that out. We're going to do 3 inches this way. There we go. And 1.5 inches. I'm trying to see which side I'm going to want. So it definitely did not come out the way I wanted it to. I do have a cool fish on that piece, but not quite what I was hoping for when I chopped it. And that's going to happen. You're going to find that sometimes. So I would like this to be 1.5. So I'm going to trim this whole piece down. By 3. And I actually need 3 pieces. So let's find another side that we want to use. I don't like that. It needs a darker color. So what I'm trying to do is either have 2 darks and a medium, or a dark and another dark. So I think this piece is going to work well. And now I know exactly how I want to do this. So we will do 1.5 inches and by 3 inches. So there's 3 of these total that are 1.5 by 3. Okay. So there's no embossing on this one because we just added that extra layer. I am going to pull out some ribbon. I'm going to move this because I think I'm done with the cutting. My ribbon is not organized at the moment because I changed some things up. It's perfect. So this is our bordered ribbon in peach pie, and it works with the background layer here. So we're going to layer these 2 first, then we will add these, and then we'll tie. And then we're going to have some fun. We will do a little bit of stamping with these fun critters. And I am going to use the lobster. So I'm just simply centering this on here. And then I'm going to add these pieces. So I'm going to start with this center piece. Give it a little tilt, and then I will add the other 2. And a little fun arrangement. Again, when you're casing your own cards, you can break out of the mold if you have that kind of skill. I am not always that great at breaking out of a mold, especially one that I created. So, I'm going to try to do this a little more fun there. A little extra tilting, leave some more orange showing in the background. Okay. All right, so we are going to add a little bit of ribbon to this one. And I think I will actually do a bow. Okay, well, I couldn't do that again if I tried. Okay, so we have this layer ready to go. So I'm gonna pop it up on dimensionals, give it a little extra element of depth and interest. So I'm just using our regular size dimensionals for this. I do like to add a decent amount of them, put a little bit to hold this ribbon right in place. And then we will just pick the backs of these off. And my fingernails are a little shorter than usual, so I noticed yesterday that I could not pick off the backs of these things very well. So take a pick tool it is. All right, so while I'm doing this, you should tell me how you keep your space clean while you are crafting, because I feel like I have everything is just a little bit of a disaster always. Turn that over. Okay, so we have a little bit of dimension here with those dots, those dimensionals. Okay, so now we're gonna do our our lobster, which is actually gonna be a lobster today because it won't be a crawfish. Pretty sure these had die cuts. So they must be really big because they're not in here. So this is a two-step stamp. So you have one that is going to be like a background. And then you also have the detailed stamp. So I'm going to grab another block. And these are our clear photopolymer stamps, which makes it really nice to line things up. And everybody does this a little bit differently, but some people will do the dark one first and then they'll go back in with the background and go right on top of it. So I might try it that way. I'm gonna make sure I have my die cuts ready, however. Okay, found them. Goodness, I was nervous. Usually I put them together. I don't know why I didn't, but here's my ocean friends. So we're going to cut that lobster out and be able to use it in just a moment. We are going to match this little guy up with Melon Mambo. So it's going to be nice and bold with all of the coordinating colors. So I'm going to try the background first, and if I don't like it this way, I'll do it a different way for the next time. So my first stamp for his detail, I am using full strength Melon Mambo. But for my background stamp, I need a scratch paper, which I usually have plenty of. Well, this is what happens when you rearrange, you lose things. So, I'm gonna have to use one of these guys. Okay. So, the background piece, I'm gonna use a second generation, which basically means I'm going to stamp once on this paper and then I'm going to come over here and you can see that I can line this up and push that down. And I think that came out pretty well. I love that. So much fun. All right, so let me clean this up real quick. And let's cut him out and determine our sentiment. So I'm using this guy because it is already open and ready to go. But this will absolutely fit through the small stamp and cut and emboss machine. So I'm going to use the die cut. I'm lining everything up. I've got a piece of washi tape ready. So I just want to make sure that my die cut doesn't move all around. So put a little bit of that washi tape on there. It's going to hold it in place while it goes through. So I really like that if you only need one machine, get the big one because you can do the large embossing or the small embossing. You can do all the sizes of the die cuts and it folds up. It still stores away pretty neatly. Um, I just like it. If you can only get one, that's probably the one I would recommend. If you are in the market for one of those. Okay, so here is that fabulous lobster. So he's going to go on here over that. So now we just have to decide on our sentiment and get that ready to go. All right, so we have a couple of sentiments on here. Love you, thanks so much, and hello, friend. So I think I'm going to do hello, friend. And I'm just going to cut it out in a moment on a piece of paper. Let's see how big it is. So not too bad. So let's use pumpkin pie and we'll pull out that orange. Now you should clean these the very first time you use them so that it gets like this little the film from manufacturing off of it. And then you can stamp nice clean images. Now I say that, but I'll probably mess mine up. So the good news is paper has two sides. And if you don't like the first one, you can try again. So I think I like this second one just a little bit better. So I'm going to trim that one out. My ink pad is a little juicy, so sometimes you get a little bit of a smear that you might not want. All right, so let's grab that trimmer. And I'm just going to line that up and I can see inside. That I can trim. Just make sure in this little groove that you do not have any of your ink peeking through, and then you know that you have that. So let's see if we want to keep it this size or if we want to trim it down even further. So since we're doing this one a little bit on the fly, I need to decide how big I want this. I think I'm going to trim the ends just a tiny bit more. And we're going to put it up top there. All right, so let's put some dimensionals on the back of this guy here. We want plenty so he stays nice and popped up. That should work. Yeah. Again, no fingernails. Take a pick tool to the rescue. All right. Let's see. So right here, and then we will add a couple of dimensionals to this. Put the sentiment on here. And then let's grab some of our fun gems that I should have pulled out, but here they are. So these are the Sunny Day iridescent dots, and they actually coordinate with this. They are part of the suite. So let's see, let's add some fun to this. All right, so that is our last card, all using essentially the same parts. So let's take a look again at those parts. Let me see if I can move some things out of the way. So let's see. Again, I can send this to you if you want one. We have three pieces that are 3 by 1.5. You have a sentiment, you have a focal piece. This one just happened to have them both sharing an item. The ribbon, a couple of gems, you can add an additional layer or not. So that is pretty much it. Let's take a look at all 4 cards. Again, if you have a nice tidy space, I need to know how you do it because I'm a hot mess all the time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And which direction do you like better? I think it's fun that you could design them in each direction. And these are essentially all the same pieces and 4 very different cards. So you can really take a sketch or a card, case it, and do something completely different with a different look for each one. So I hope that this was a little interesting and exciting so that you could see just how you can do that on your own at home. And let's see. Awesome. I look forward to getting back into the swing of designing more frequently. It may not happen every single week. However, I would like to be on here once to twice a month to be able to share ideas like this. If you're interested in any classes, let me know. I will add you to my email list and let you in on all the dates and all the fun things. Thank you for joining me and spending some of your valuable time with me. I know just how valuable it is. So I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you all next week with at least something little to share with you. So have a great evening.